Hi, Henry. My question is just what level of technical knowledge is expected out of PMMs?
It really depends on how technical your product is and also how technical your customers are. So if you're working at a company that's selling a very technical product to, say, a developer or a software engineer,
Mhm.
then you're expected to be a little more technical so you can actually talk to them. Whereas at other companies, you don't have to be as technical. It depends on the product and the customer.
Okay, thank you.
I've got a question, Henry. Two parts. First part, would love to know, without any filters, what's the best part and the worst part about being a PMM? And then second part of that question is, what does like career progression look like for a PMM?
Great question. What I love about product marketing is that it's very strategic. You're able to set the whole strategy in terms of how to market this product, how to drive user growth, and get a lot of stakeholders on board. So you can be like, this is how we should be marketing our product, get the whole product team and even the company to talk about the product in a certain way. So you have a lot of influence on how the company and your product is told externally. What's the worst thing about product marketing? At startups, a lot of people don't know what product marketing is. So you have to explain what you do, especially if you're the first product marketer at the startup, which I was. At the four startups that I worked at, I had to educate everyone what product marketing is and what I do and don't do. In terms of career progression, you will start off as an APMM or a PMM. You become a senior PMM, then you could become a group PMM, so equivalent to a group PM. Then you can become a director of product marketing. So my highest title was a director of product marketing. And then above me was the VP of marketing. If I stayed in tech, my next goal would have been to be the VP of marketing. I've seen a lot of PMMs. If they climb the ladder, they become a VP or the CMO.
Awesome. Thanks, Henry.
Is there a pathway for a PMM to be a PM?
Yeah, that is the most common exit route for PMMs. The path is that the PMM, they're really in tune with the market and the customers. Hence, they're able to bring that knowledge and insight to the product side to help them build better products. The way a PMM would transition to PM is they would say, hey, I know the market really well. I know the customer pain points really well. Let me become a PM to help the engineering team prioritize what features to build that would impact the revenue the most.
Got it. Thanks.
Hey, Henry, this is Artur hijacking Atreyo's computer. I had a question about that 20% project that you did your first 2 years at Google. What did that look like? And like, how did you find yourself in that position? And then what about it made you like love it so much that you knew that was going to be something that you wanted to transition into full time?
Yeah, great question. At Google, there was an internal forum where people can ask for help. They might say, hey, I need help with this project, or I need someone to help me with this aspect of work. I saw a posting, a team was looking for marketing support. I reached out, we had a one-on-one conversation. I understood what the manager was looking for at the time, and I basically volunteered my time to help him with email marketing. And in the beginning, I sucked at it. He had to teach me, hey, don't write long emails, write short, clear, concise emails, right? So I came from a legal background. I would write, dear sir, sincerely, and he just, yeah, don't write like that. Write hello, thanks, cheers. I learned that eventually. Over time, he trusted me with more work. So he said, okay, you're done with email marketing. Let's have you do some content marketing. So I did that. And then eventually got to a point where I was helping him launch a global app building competition. I'm like, oh, this is cool. I get to see the impact you can have as a PMM. I realized, yeah, I don't want to do legal. I was more excited about my volunteer time. So that's when I asked him, what's the best way for me to transition into product marketing? And then he basically said, yeah, just apply, make sure you pitch yourself as someone who already has PMM experience. And then thankfully, I was able to make that transition and get the job.
Appreciate it.
Just a quick follow-up question on this. Do you need manager approval to take on this 20% work? And when you're eventually applying for that internal transition, what if they didn't accept you? Will it have negative implications on your existing role within the legal department?
Yeah, that's a great question. So The key to taking on a 20% project is you want to make sure that you're still doing a really good job in your current role. And you want to market your side project to your manager as an opportunity to learn something new. Never market it as I'm trying to leave this role, because eventually your manager will be like, okay, what's this guy doing? So the way I marketed to my manager was like, hey, I'm doing the best I can in my job. I'm also super curious. I want to learn more skills to help me do an even better job in my current role. So that's why my manager was open to it. I made sure that I was never doing the 20% project during my day job. I only did my 20% project after work or before work. So it never really impacted my day-to-day job. And then eventually I applied to transition. That's when I let my manager know. I'm like, hey, I'm interested in doing it full-time. But by then my manager was so supportive that I was put up for promotion in my current role while I was in the process of interviewing for the internal transfer. I got the promotion, but I also got the internal transfer. So when my manager told me, hey, Henry, congratulations, I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I appreciate the promotion, but I'm on a ladder. But yeah, I think it's all about relationships.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hey, Henry, with AI tools and just AI on the rise, like how do you see AI impacting the PMM role and causing it to evolve? And then second part to that is, what do you recommend that we MBA students work on to stay competitive for PMM roles before we re-enter the job market?
Yeah, great question. I don't think AI will replace PMMs because PMMs, they still need to have the human context to know how to apply AI tools, right? If you have AI write out a website copy, it's going to be pretty bad. But if you have a human who has context, who asks the right questions to use AI, then you might come up with a pretty good copy. But even then, you still need the PMM to refine the copy. Being able to use AI tools is really helpful if you work at a startup because your resources are limited. So as a PMM, you can think about how can I use AI to scale up my blog post-production? Or how can I use AI to A/B test different ad copy? Being able to write really good prompts for AI is going to be key. To answer your second part of the question, the best way to be competitive is there's three things. One is you need to have a really good story. So being able to communicate really well why you're a good candidate based on your past experiences and what makes you unique is going to be a big one. So having a good story, and that story is also reflected on your LinkedIn and your resume. You want to be able to share that story through those mediums as well. The second thing is you need to have some product marketing experiences. So even if you did a side project during school, I think that would help a lot in making your case. So you're not just, hey, I don't just have theoretical knowledge, but I also have practical knowledge. And then the third thing is that it's always helpful to network and get referrals. Getting referrals will help you get your foot in the door and that initial phone screen.
Thank you.
On the topic of internal tools like an AI, obviously like each company has their own specific tech stack. But what would you say would be some particular platforms that would be worthwhile to learn? So be it like Figma, Canva, any biz analytics tool, etc.
Yeah, great question. It's helpful if the product marketer knows how to use ChatGPT really well to brainstorm and refine. They know how to use Canva to actually design things that look good. They know how to use video because video is like the most engaging format today in terms of marketing. If you can do those three things, ChatGPT, Canva, and video production skills, that would go a long way.
Hey Henry, I have a question that's the opposite direction of Yiming's question earlier. How common is it for PMs to transfer into PMM, and what skills would you have a PM highlight from their past experiences as a PM when applying for PMM roles?
Yeah, it's not that common for PMs to transition into PMMs, but I've had students that did make that transition. Being a PM, you still have to understand your customers pretty well. Being able to showcase your ability to empathize with the customer is one big thing. And then the second thing is being able to showcase how you're able to uncover customer insights is another one. As a PM, you're using customer insights to inform how you build a product. But as a PMM, you can use the same customer insights to inform how you market to customers. So I would just make that adjustment. Hey, I have strong customer empathy. I know how to get customer insights. I can repurpose those for product marketing.
Got it. Thank you.
Do PMMs also build demo projects to help potential customers understand more about the value? Say, build a playground or the sample features within the playground.
Yeah, that is a shared responsibility between PMM and PM. So a PMM in that case might identify the opportunity. Then they would need to convince the PM that it's good to allocate some engineering resources to build that playground. And then once the playground is built, you need to drive traffic to the playground. Because the thing that engineering teams hate the most is when they build something and no one uses it. So you need to make sure that the demand is there and the interest is there before you convince them to build it.
Got it. So do you use any data analysis tools to measure the demand? Is that also a responsibility?
You could. I think the best way is to build an MVP. For example, instead of building a playground, you can build a Google form. And you can be like, schedule a quick demo of how you can apply this, and then just hop on a call, walk through it with them. And if there's a lot of people that are filling out this form, then there must be demand.
What is the most technical responsibility a PMM could get? Let's say it's a product targeting software developers, so it's very technical. So is the PMM involved in writing the documentation alongside the engineering team, or not that technical?
I don't think it's going to be that technical. If anything, the most technical thing that a PMM might do is give a talk at an engineering conference about certain challenges that the engineers might face when writing code and what their product helps in terms of solution. It doesn't have to be super technical, but you should have the lay of the land in terms of what are the day-to-day challenges, where your solution plugs in, and then be able to demo it.
Got it, thanks. Oh, they also demo it, right? So they need to run through how to actually use the product or API.
Yeah, I think it's important for marketers to know how to use the product that they're selling.
Yeah, for sure.
Curious, Henry, if you have any hot takes on the PMM role or tech generally that kind of goes up against the grain or common thought.
Yeah, my hot take is that PMMs need to become full stack marketers if they want to be resourceful and move up in the ladder, because you can't just be siloed in a specific function. So this includes paid advertising, content marketing, event marketing. So just thinking about what are all the possible tools that you can use to reach your target audience and being able to do it well, not just outsource it.